What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Transformers video review. Today, we are going to be taking a look at Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime. And here he is in his truck mode. Very nice looking from this angle. From this angle, it looks pretty good. From that angle, it looks pretty good. Oh boy. There it is. So this figure is pretty controversial, or at least it was. I don't know if it is still, but when it came out a couple years ago, wow, it's been like 2 years, hasn't it? Anyway, when this figure came out, it was pretty, like I said, controversial. A lot of people liked it, a lot of people hated it, because the robot mode looked kind of off. We'll take a look at that in a second. But then they saw the truck mode as well, and that's just, how could they do that? They had good engineering for the last Bumblebee movie, Optimus Prime, which this figures kind of that as well. Same universe, but kind of it's confusing. I don't even know if they're going to continue it. Hopefully they do. But the last Bumblebee movie Optimus figure had truck bed engineering that made it look really good. I have that figure over here, but I have it in robot mode, and it's not in truck mode, but I might put a picture on the screen. It looked good. I don't know how or why they didn't really continue that trend. Why they didn't just do a little extra, put some hinges in here, put it down. I don't know. But other than that, it rolls nicely. And from certain angles, it looks good, in my opinion. The new, what is that? What is this called? Like it's just like a new bumper. I like it. It's kind of cool looking. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for like in film, in the movie, but it looks cool. And not much else to say about it. It's very, red, blue, truck. The smokestacks are pretty long. I think people didn't really like that either, but I kind of like it. I don't mind it, in all honesty. Could be worse. This might actually just be the worst, but it could always be worse. It could just look bad full out, but from angles, looks good. Like that. Wow, very nice. But yeah, nothing else much to say about it. We got rid of, we got through it. But there is actually one more thing that I forgot. But back here, if you just split that apart, we'll take a look at that more later because transformation. But there's some holes back in there, in the inner thigh, that one of his accessories can fit into. So I forget which way it goes. I'm going to try it this way. Basically, little blue peg on the sword just fits right into there. Like that. And then you close the truck bed. And there's some weapon storage. Looks kind of weird to me. I don't really like that. But for more weapon storage, he comes with this little blaster. And that just... Where does it plug into? Plugs in right there. Or on either side. Plugs in to that tab right there, that tab hole. Not these three things. Right there. That's where it plugs into. I don't get it. I wish there was better weapon storage, honestly. This should have been flat, and this should have gone, like, somewhere, like, up in here, maybe. Like, just put that in there. There we go. Weapon storage. Please hire me, Hasbro. Anyway. For robot mode, it's simple, but at the same time, there's some stuff that's like, oh, well, that's interesting. But, put those off to the side. For robot mode, just put those in first. Always. If there's ever a figure that has these gas cans, you just push them in first. They're just going to get pushed in anyway. Then what you're going to want to do, come back here and take these blue mounds off the back of the truck and just push them back like that. Then you're going to want to come to the side panel and flip it up, which reveals the Autobot symbol. I like that. I like that part of the transformation. I don't really know why. I think it's neat how some shoulder part folds down. And then take the entire front section, push it down, fold up the wheels like that. Then untab the top part right there. As you can see, it just plugs in up there. Bring around the arms. Untab the whole arm assembly from the back of the truck. Fold up this gray piece and fold down that gray piece. So fold around that piece, fold that up. Bring it up until kind of friction clicks in. You can kind of see and hear it, but it sticks around. And then fold around the arms like that. Fold out that gray piece and fold down the hand. Then fold up that part right, oh shoot. Fold up that part and fold it up. There we go. Bring on the waist and fold that whole assembly up. And same on the other hand. Like that. And then open up the chest, flip up the head, bring down that gray piece, and then fold in the chest again. And now it's at an angle instead of being flat. Just gives us some more dynamicy. It looks more dynamic. And then bring down the foot and fold it around like that. Fold down this blue part, and then fold down the mound from the truck mode. And now it looks good. Like, that looks good. I like that. The leg looks good, but for some reason it just really fumbled the truck. I don't really know what happened there, and there we go. There is Rise of the Beast Optimus in robot mode. And you can't even see him. There we go. And there he is. I really like the look of this figure. The robot mode looks great. Just standing there, he looks great to me. But there are some things that are, like, again, iffy. Things that people don't really like about the figure. And I can agree, but at the same time, it doesn't really bother me that much. But, again, it kind of does at the same time. It's weird. We'll take a look at it in a second. But first of all, just look at him. He looks great. The detailing is very nice. You can see, mechanical detailing on his arms, on his legs. Just the ab detailing. It's very nice. And then the paint, or I guess kind of lack thereof. There's, silver paint and some silver paint just around. But it's mostly plastic. Right there, I guess. But it's mostly like, gray, red, blue, simple. And then that head sculpt. I really like that head sculpt. It's just very nice looking. Kind of wish he had like a mask-off variant or version. Does he? I don't know if he does, but I kind of wish he had like a gimmick, but he would probably have to be a later class for that. So at the same time, I'm glad he doesn't. But he looks great. Detailing, paint, all very nice. For accessories, this figure itself comes with this sword, which just slides into a little hole right there on either side. I like it on this side better. And then he comes with this little blaster, which you just fold in his hand and push it on. Some cool accessories. I'm not a big fan of him losing the cool gun he had in the Bumblebee movie, which, you know what? Let's take a look at those two together. Here is Rise of the Beast, and here is the Bumblebee movie Optimus. So, he's actually quite shorter than Rise of the Beast. I don't really know what's up with that, but that gun is so much cooler than just this little handheld blaster thing that he has. Like, I don't know. What happened? I guess maybe he lost it on Cybertron during that battle scene? I don't know. But I don't know about anyone else, but I kind of like his proportions better than this guy's. And I just like how everything folds up better. His legs are more sturdy. Maybe that's why they got rid of the engineering on this figure. Or, wait, engineering from this figure and didn't put on this figure. Because his legs are pretty flimsy. It's just, that doesn't like to stay put. And, moving around is kind of annoying. But it looks good in truck modes. It's really confusing to me. So, I don't know. But, like I said, I like his proportions better than him. And also, he doesn't have as much junk hanging off, and it actually stays put. Like, actually, it's kind of similar, but I don't know. This figure's still great, though, and he has the better accessory, in my opinion. The sword's cool, but You could live without it. But he has the cooler gun and the better truck mode, so, you know. And for another comparison, so since we're doing it, here is Scourge from the same line, Studio Series Rise of the Beasts. Great figure, in my opinion, but it's so inaccurate. It is horrible looking compared to the movie, but it's still a fun figure, still cool. Quite taller, too. I don't know if that's probably not accurate just because it's just fully inaccurate, but they look cool together, you know. They look nice. And then one final comparison, here is concept art Bumblebee movie Megatron, and I think they look really good together. This figure is just awesome. So, yeah, they look cool. And then one extra accessory that he doesn't come with, but for some reason Optimus Primal does, is X. His Fortnite pickaxe. And I can just slide into either of his hands, but since I have that one flipped up, it can go in this one. So, fully meleeed up. Very nice looking. Very cool. And then he actually has some weapon storage for robot mode as well. He has some just holes on his back. So, you put the sword up here on his back like that, or like that on either side. You put the gun on his back as well. These little tabs that we saw earlier for truck mode. So that's cool. This axe doesn't really have a place. Just kind of upsetting, but it's there. So for articulation, however, I'm gonna take those things off so they don't fall off. It's all right. The articulation is just fine. He has a ball joint in his neck, so he can look up that far, look down that far, and full 360, no hindrances, which is nice. He's a bicep swivel and a double jointed elbow and a wrist swivel and kind of in and out the wrist as well. He has a waist swivel, an ab crunch, because transformation, but you know, you can get some posing out of that. He has these things move out of the way, and you can go out that far, which is not very, and he can't go back far at all, which is, you know, interesting to say the least, but he can go forward all the way, like, wow. And that's kind of a cool joint system. It's, I've seen it used on model kits mostly, but it's like a front swivel. It's like at the crotch area, and it just kind of comes down, and you can get a wild kick out of it. So then he has a hip swivel or a thigh swivel. I don't know what is that? What is that joint? He has a knee bend, slightly past 90 degrees, and then a lot going on at the foot because there's like a ball joint here, so there's, you know, a ton of movement there, and then he also has an ankle pivot. So not terrible articulate. I forgot the most important part. How could I forget? The shoulders. His shoulder can go full around, and then he has these shoulders. So, and they go up like that, and it's terrible. Viewing it, it's probably not, you know, oh, what's the big problem with that? But just knowing, if you know, you know. It's hot rod, or I forget what they call it. It's either hot rod or trigger happy shoulders. Either way, they are very hindered. They're very hindered. They don't, it's just not good for posing. You can get poses out of it. I've seen photos. I've done it myself. But it's rough. That's why they made a shoulder upgrade kit for this figure, which is kind of funny to me. But you can get a couple poses out of it, but it's very just disappointing. Especially, again, since this figure had regular shoulders. Like, just swivel and out like that. It's very just, you know, normal. It works perfectly. But then this guy just has these weird big shoulders. I don't know. They're, you know, rough. Is all I can say. So, not terrible posing, but just some weird choices in posing. Yeah, we can give him back his weapons. Have him dual-wield melee weapons and just put this on his back somewhere. Like that. And yeah, there he is. It's a good figure. I don't know if anyone else will agree with that, but I think it's a good figure. It's we've definitely had worse, but we've definitely had better. So I think it's kind of just, you know, mid overall. It's very just it's an all right figure overall. But robot mode looks great. Love the proportions. The detailing's nice. The head looks great. Accessories are pretty cool. Um, yeah, I definitely suggest it for fans of Optimus or fans of Rise of the Beasts. All, however many of you there are, probably not that many. But it's a great figure, and they re-released it too. They made it. This was a Target exclusive before, and that's the version I have. I pre-ordered it, and they re-released it for like mainline. So if you like the figure or want the figure, go ahead and get it, because it's a good figure. There are problems, but nothing really that bad. So thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you did, like the video. And if you have any comments, you know what to do. And if you like the content, if you like, you know, my channel, go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video.